What is going on, Knicks Nation? It is Anthony. I'm here joined by my co-host Chris. We are back for another live edition of the Knicks Nation podcast. The New York Knicks wrapped up their game versus the Phoenix Suns yesterday. We didn't do a post game, and then obviously they had that great game against the Miami Heat on Friday, which we can touch on in a bit. But Chris, man, what's going on?
I'm hanging in there, man. It's a lot of ups and downs lately with the Knicks. That's kind of the same way I feel, man. How about you? How's it going, Ant?
It's going. You hit it perfectly. A lot of ups and downs with the New York Knicks. Obviously, the Phoenix Suns game was a tough game. A couple of things we can touch on during that game. It's just Knicks missed I think 9 free throws in that game, and another great performance from Jalen Brunson. He's now been the Knicks' leading scorer for the last 6 games. Believe it or not, dating back to all the way at Washington. 32 points at Washington, 32 points at Charlotte, 25 points Minnesota. And then Miami when he was hitting clutch shots, Phoenix when he was hitting clutch shots. That shot at the end there just rimmed in and out was unfortunate, man. I'm
Oh
sure
man.
your heart dropped, my heart dropped for that last shot. But hey, the Knicks got beat by Devin Booker, man. I mean, um, Jimmy Butler missed the shot on Friday. Devin Booker makes the shot yesterday. I mean,
How,
yeah.
how insane is that, man? That basically identical spots, pretty much. I mean, I know Devin Booker was fading on his attempt, and Jimmy Butler had a step back, but man, for some reason, I just knew that shot was going in. It's just a typical,
Yeah.
bad feeling pretty much in a lot of clutch games for the Knicks in the past. But where do we go? What do you put the blame on as far as the Knicks losing that game to the Suns? Because look, they did have Devin Booker, but there was no Bradley Beal. There was no Kevin Durant. I mean, do you think the Knicks just kind of fell asleep for that game? Kind of maybe didn't take it too seriously at first, or do you think it was just a hey, Devin Booker, All Star, great player, beat them at the last second, and the Knicks just kind of like gave it their best shot. What are your thoughts on that game? Like the Knicks mentality in that game. Do you think they were just flat? Do you think they just gave too much for the Heat game? What
It's
are
a
your thoughts?
mixture. It's a mixture of a lot of things. The Knicks are the ultimate try hard team, right? They have to do a lot of things really well to win these games. They do all the dirty things: the offensive rebounding, the fast breaks, the obviously the defensive intensity. They led by Tom Thibodeau, they're the ultimate try hard team. So I just feel like it was just flat from like start to finish, right? And then we gained the lead there. Julius Randle had this great third quarter, but other than the third quarter, I mean, the Julius Randle experience, I mean, was we all witnessed this versus the Phoenix Suns. I mean, he had a great third quarter, and then throughout the game, he was just a ghost. And yeah, I think it's an unfortunate loss. Obviously, you want to beat those teams that are missing the star players, especially Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. But Devin Booker's still great. Obviously, you had the role players come in and knock down their shots. I mean, it's Madison Square Garden. We're bound to every like it feels like every year. Chris is always like this random role player coming in, hitting his shots, hitting his threes. I just feel like it was an unfortunate event, and then when you compile that with the free throw shooting, compile that with the up and down play, the maddening play of Julius Randle, and yeah, I just feel like it was just one of those games that it sucks, but we lost. I mean, it's unfortunate. I think the Knicks are lost. I've lost 3 games this year that have been decided by like 3 points or less or something like that. The Boston game, Phoenix game, and another game. I forgot the game, but they could have easily been like 11-4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's still early. It's crazy how it's like it's already 20% of the season, Chris. It's already been 20% of the season. Like that's
Wow.
insane. We've already played 16 games this year, but yeah, I mean, JB, man, JB's been carrying us. And, the issue really has been RJ Barrett's kind of like took a step back here a little bit with his offense a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that? Are you worried about sort of like him being hot and cold? But he had such a great start to the season that, it seems like Jalen Brunson really isn't getting that second guy. You have Julius Randle that's obviously had this great stretch, and then I don't know. He had a great third quarter yesterday, but Jalen Brunson is just playing on another level over everybody.
Yeah, I think. I mean, like you said, Jalen Brunson is insane, man. He's such a good player, man. And like you said, he's just not getting the help he deserves to get, man. I know Julius had 28 in this game with the Suns, but it all came pretty much like it felt like it came in a 10-minute span. And look, credit to
Yeah.
Julius Randle because, you know, from having a really bad game, he turned it on and was able to produce and score. But before that, it was the same old, right? Julius Randle moping around, not giving the effort, not hustling, not really being engaged defensively, which ultimately I think hurts us really bad. And then third quarter rolls around and Julius Randle looks like,
Also,
all NBA
yeah.
Julius
Also,
Randle. And we're like,
yeah.
okay, he's back. But just as quickly as he was back, he was gone again to close the game. I mean, it's maddening. And as far as RJ, everybody's probably gonna think I'm crazy, but I still thought RJ played pretty well. I know offensively he hasn't been there the past few games, especially after coming back, from the knee and the migraines and whatnot. But one thing that I will say about RJ Barrett, as far as this year goes, he could be having a bad night offensively, but his defense is starting to look really, really good.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be a liability like he was the past season. And, at times he was guarding Devin Booker and he was doing a really good job. So I took that as something encouraging from RJ, even though he didn't score, great. His defense and his activity on that side of the court was fantastic, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing with RJ. His defense has been great. So Knicks haven't really, last year he took a step back defensively a little bit, but this year he's just, on another level. His offense, I think he's shooting the worst 2-point percentage in his career by far. I forgot the percentage, but it's pretty bad. So he's been great from three. Kind of cooled off a little bit these past couple of games, but 44%. I have it right here. 44% from two from RJ Barrett. Not great. I mean, the whole Knicks team is shooting terrible from two. I mean, it's not just RJ Barrett. I mean, Jalen Brunson shooting 45% from two. Julius Randle's numbers, efficiency-wise, are bad. I mean, 44% from two, 27% from three from Julius Randle, 69% from the free throw line. It's not great. But yeah, I mean, look, Jalen Brunson is shooting a career high. And he's shooting a lot of threes, Chris. I think he's attempting like 7 threes a game, and he's hitting them. 47% from three this year. He's just been, incredible. And if he continues to do that, the sky is the limit for JB. Let's have some of these comments in the chat. Rick Pennington says, "Sup, fellas." Yeah, Devin Booker, man, sent us home. Blame is on the effort and Grimes' lack of offensive contributions. Yeah, I mean, oh, man, Chris. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Quentin Grimes situation is like beating a dead horse at this point. PL says Grimes in the chat as well, bro. ... Yeah, the Grimes frustration is there. It's there with me. I'm sure it's there with you, Chris. But the thing I don't understand is that the New York Knicks are starting Quentin Grimes in these games for what? His defense, right? They're saying that he's, he's a great defender. His numbers this season have been incredible. And he's been guarding the opposing star guard or the star player, right? And he's been doing a hell of a guard in doing so. But then fourth quarter comes around and what's happening? He's not really seeing the court. I mean, he's seeing the court sporadically. Versus the Miami Heat, I don't even think he entered in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. I think RJ was on Butler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then last game, didn't play the whole fourth quarter. So it's like, I don't know what to make of it, Chris. It's like if you want to start him for his defense and you're not finishing him with the offense in the games, then what is really the point? I mean, we're just not getting the package that I thought we were going to get from Quentin Grimes this year. And I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm just I'm just flabbergasted at this point, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's really frustrating because, you know, Dante DiVincenzo was in the starting lineup not too long ago, and it was like, wow, the offense was great. He was being aggressive, he was taking shots, making shots more importantly. And was there a little bit of a drop off defensively? I guess yes, you can say so, but it made you wonder. Then Grimes comes back, and it's like you said, like beating a dead horse, man. It's like the same story. He either doesn't get enough looks, or he's just not taking shots, or when he does take them, he's just not hitting his shots. So I don't know, man. At what point in time do you say we need to make a change? Maybe take Quentin Grimes and just let him go on the bench. Bring Dante to the starting lineup. Bring quickly even to the starting lineup. You know, I don't know how much longer they can continue to go this route when we need something from Grimes offensively. He's out there for his defense, and he did pretty well against Devin Booker in the Suns game, but it wasn't his usual self defensively, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And maybe that's kind of holding Grimes to a higher standard because Julius gets to mope around and not play defense. But when it comes to Grimes, I just hold him in a higher standard, man. And I guess for me, he wasn't at that level that you're used to seeing him defensively. So if he's not playing defense at a high level and he's not giving you anything offensively, what are we doing at that point?
The thing is, like, it's a trade. I don't think they're going to make a switch. I think Tom Thibodeau was going to stick to his guns and keep Quentin Grimes in there. I mean, we've seen these big games from Quentin Grimes where he can, really do well on the offensive end. But, the downside of putting quickly in the starting lineup is obviously we're not going to get his spark off the bench, Chris. And, that's the argument that I see from a lot of Knicks fans. But, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I think you have to give this five to 10 more games. And if it's just not happening with Quentin Grimes, then, I mean, maybe his name will be in rumors come trade deadline. His name is already in rumors. I think Bogdanovich's name has been floated out there a little bit. But, yeah, just answering some of these comments in the chat. Joel says, why does Brunson need help? I think the Knicks are doing well. They barely lost to the Suns, though, and we're losing games we should win. I just feel like in order for the Knicks to, obviously, the ultimate goal is to win a championship, right? But in order for the Knicks to advance where they want to go, I just feel like we need to get JB some help, man. I just feel like there needs to be another guy to step up. Is that going to be a Julius Randle? Do you trust him in the playoffs? Do you trust him with the efficiency in the playoffs? I don't know. I just feel like Jalen Brunson just cannot continue to do this night in, night out, ball out. Yes, we're 9-7. This is not like a depressing podcast, and we're not down on the Knicks. I'm just explaining to you why I think eventually Jalen Brunson will need some help later down the road. And last night nobody really, Julius Randle had 28 points, I believe, Chris, but yeah, most of that came in the third quarter. Great, but I mean, clutch time is when you're getting the big bucks, right? And I just feel like clutch time is when people need to step up. So it's not essentially like, oh, we need to get Jalen Brunson help now. It's just some guys need to play better. And Quentin Grimes needs to play better. Julius Randle's efficiency needs to get better. Mitchell Robinson's free throw percentage, I think he's shooting 35% from the line. So there are room for improvement for everybody. This is not just like, oh, trade somebody to get Jalen Brunson some help. That's not what we're trying to say. I'm just saying some guys need to step up. Josh Hart, I mean, he had a couple of games here that he's looked like the old Josh Hart, but I mean, in terms of his shooting numbers, 29% from 3, 53% from 2, just hasn't looked like the Josh Hart. So it's like we just need everyone else to play good around Jalen Brunson, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. And to echo what you were just saying, this is not a call for a trade or anything like that at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just, going back to Grimes, it's like finding a way to get him in rhythm offensively. I think if he goes on the bench, he plays with that bench unit. Maybe the weight of having a Brunson or a Julius Randle or RJ Barrett out there won't be there, so he can be a little bit more free. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the way it works for Grimes or whatnot. But, just trying to figure out a way to get Grimes going for us because, we need it. We need him. We know he has the
Yeah.
ability. We all thought he was going to take a bigger step. And look, it's still early. He could still figure it out. Not saying he won't, but, these are just the things that we're seeing early on in the season. And Brunson has been amazing. And, if we just had a little bit more consistency from the other guys, including Julius Randle, like you said, we could easily be 11-4 or even better. That's the crazy part about it.
And the reason why I say that, guys in the chat, is look at the Eastern Conference right now. I mean, the Knicks are 9-7. We're playing well. We're 7-3 in our last 10. Everything's positive, but you have, the Pacers in front of us. The Heat are playing well. We just beat them. The 76ers, the Bucks, the Magic now are coming out of the blue, and they won 7 in a row, and they have back-to-back games against, I think, the Wizards coming up, Celtics, obviously the Cavs. Not worried about the Cavs, but if we want to reach our potential, guys, I mean, we just have to get, better contributions from everybody. And, the efficiency numbers will go up. They will get better, obviously, but right now I just feel like we have a little bit of situation with the Quentin Grimes situation, and I don't know. I just feel like a big game is coming for him, Chris, because I feel like that'll give him a confidence booster, and hopefully, like tomorrow, the game versus Charlotte, I think LaMelo Ball is actually out there in that game. He hurt his ankle. In-season tournament game, by the way, and we're still alive for that. We can get the wild card, I believe, for that, and that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. RJ Barrett said, if somebody were to give you $500,000 for playing basketball in Vegas, what would you do? So the guys are committed to it. But yeah, big in-season tournament game tomorrow. We'll probably get the wild card. If not, we'll win our group. I think the Bucks have to lose to the Heat. But yeah, I mean, in terms of Immanuel Quickley, we can circle back to Immanuel Quickley, Chris. He's been awesome. There's not really much you can't say about Immanuel Quickley. He's just been incredible for this team. And him coming in off the bench, providing that spark, I love it, man. I love IQ. I love six-man IQ. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's just, I don't know, man. I just want to see more of him. I just want to see more of him because he's so damn good, man. And I love what we're seeing with him paired with Brunson. Like,
yes,
it's not like we're not getting stagnant offense. We're getting ball movement on the floor. We're getting good defense. So I just love that pairing. And you're seeing him close these games. He's not starting them, but you're seeing him close the games. So what are your thoughts about IQ? And just explain that front on him.
IQ is the man. Like I said, man, I wanted the Knicks to extend Immanuel Quickley. He's getting more and more expensive by the game. He's he showed it against the Heat. I think he took that personal. He was like, hey, I know this isn't the playoffs, but I want to show you guys that I can play against this Heat team.
True.
And he went out there, he showed out,
Yeah.
And then again against the Suns, played a good game. And like you mentioned, he has a really good chemistry with Jalen Brunson. I mean, they play well off each other. And that's credit to Brunson as well, not being a player who needs the ball in his hands, 100% every single time down the court. And in my opinion, that's who I would like to see in the starting lineup over Grimes, because Quickley is a hell of a defender, and I don't think there's too much of a drop off there. So I mean, we have options, man. Immanuel Quickley has been having a really good season, and like I said, man, I think he just has the it factor, man. He really does.
Yeah, Immanuel Quickley this year, 39% from three, or he's our best free throw shooter, 88% from the free throw line. That's important because the New York Knicks are not a great free throw shooting team. Immanuel Quickley's right up there. But yeah, man, Immanuel Quickley's balling out. And like I said, he's not starting these games, but he's closing them. Hopefully, not hopefully, but we'll see down the line how this shakes out. If Quentin Grimes continues to struggle offensively, does Tom Thibodeau just keep him in the starting lineup? Hit some of these comments in the chat. Joel says also Mitchell Robinson needs to practice more on how to hit free throws. Yeah, he's hitting 30% from the free throw line. not good. Joel, yeah, East is very good. East is good. East is very good, which is why I'm saying, like, yeah, it's a tough loss, but these games, it's a game we should have won. No Kevin Durant, no Bradley Beal, tough loss at home. It is what it is. We move on, but definitely get the game tomorrow versus Charlotte Hornets, especially an undermanned Charlotte Hornets team. Joel says IQ can drive 50 if he gets the ball. Yeah. Yeah. Emmanuel Quickly he's just on another level, man. He's just on a whole nother level. Chris, what do you want to touch on next?
So going back to Grimes in that situation, what do you think is a bigger issue right now? Quentin Grimes in the starting lineup not giving you anything offensively, or Josh Hart just refusing to shoot three balls when he is wide open?
He's been getting better at it.
It's driving me insane, man.
He's been getting better at it. I think he heard the noise a little bit, but yeah, man. What do you think? The thing about Josh Hart, he has games where he's just out there, doing all the little things, and he has games where he's scoring. He has games where he's grabbing big rebounds. Versus the Miami Heat, I think he grabbed he played great versus Miami Heat. That's the Josh Hart we were missing. We really haven't gotten that consistently this year, but yeah, I don't know if the whole hand thing with Grimes is affecting him, because now he all of a sudden can't hit a 3-point shot, and I don't know if it's affecting him. He was shooting over 40% from three to start the season, but it's just, I want to see Quentin Grimes have those games like we saw last year, right? The breakout games versus the who was it that he faced? The Mavericks. I think he had a great game against them. He has some good games at home. I feel like it's coming. I really do, but I don't know. What are your thoughts about what we've seen from Josh Hart? Because we're also getting some good play from Dante DiVincenzo. So Josh Hart is also closing some of these games as well. So yeah, I mean, a lot of guys are just haven't found their footing yet. Quentin Grimes, Josh Hart has had a few games here in a row that have been good, but Julius Randle's been inefficient, but he's scoring. But yeah, it's been like a weird start to the season. But I think I saw someone in the chat said we have some winnable games coming up, and boy, we need to take care of business for sure.
We definitely have to take care of business, and it can't be a repeat of the Suns. When we're facing teams that are undermanned, we need to take care of business.
Yeah,
and that's what good teams do, right? But going back to Josh Hart, it's weird, like you said, a lot of guys just starting slow. And in the case of Josh Hart, we all know with the whole FIBA tournament and everything, he's just being. The report was that he was banged up, right? So they were keeping him out a bit here and there. But I don't know. Do you think that him playing that backup power forward spot just kind of diminishes what he does when he's at his usual spot? I think, it's no secret the Knicks could use a solid backup power forward. Then that would allow Josh Hart to play a more, play the role that we kind of,
I feel like it's
just
coming.
a smaller guard who can rebound.
Yeah, it's coming.
Because when he's doing, he's running down the lane trying to get these boards, and he's doing it for the power forward spot. It's less of a surprise, I think, in my opinion, when he's doing it from a guard spot. I think it's just kind of masking what he does good, if that makes sense.
It's a good observation. I never really thought of it like that. Yeah, it could be, but I do feel like the Knicks, they know they need another wing player. You had Scott Perry last week saying that they need another wing player. He's been on this interview tour, just saying everything and saying everything that Knicks fans wanted to hear. Move RJ Barrett to the shooting guard position, trade for a wing player. But yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up. I never really thought of it that way. Maybe it could be affecting him, guarding these bigger players. Because is it affecting him on his offense? Because he's shooting 29% from three, 53% from two. His efficiency percentage is 49%. So, him along with a lot of players just haven't gotten their shot going. And yeah, it's an interesting wrinkle, but I do think eventually the Knicks during the trading deadline, they will they will get another wing because we have to. I mean, if we want to compete with Boston, if we want to compete with, I mean, the Miami Heat, I mean, you see the way the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks play. It's typical 90s style basketball. Usually comes down to the final possessions at the end of the game, and it's a dogfight. And, you know, when we're competing against all the big dogs, we're going to need all hands on deck. But it's an interesting wrinkle that you bring up. Just wanted to hit this comment that I saw. I love you guys, but things will never change until Randle goes. Things will never change until things in Randle go. Yeah. We're getting that same sentiment from a lot of Knicks fans. I mean, I don't know, Chris. I mean, I've really been thinking about this, right? Like,
Yeah.
Julius Randle has been on the New York Knicks for how long? 4 years now.
Yeah.
And watching him is an experience. It really is. It's an experience. I mean, you're gonna get the great nights. You're gonna get the All NBA nights, and then some nights you're just gonna get bad Julius Randle. And I feel like that's been happening like 60 to 70% of the time. Like we're getting bad Julius Randle, and then the 40% of the time he's playing great. And in order for us to be a great team, in order for us to be in an Eastern Conference contender, we need great Julius Randle every night. And that's just not happening, right? He's not efficient. I mean, the play yesterday, we can bring it up now. The play yesterday when Mitchell Robinson's at the free throw line, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle's nowhere near the free throw line. And I think you had one of the Knicks assistant coach, he was arguing with the referee because he clearly got fouled on his arm. He's supposed to be at the free throw line where Jalen Brunson was. And then apparently he wasn't there because he was arguing with the referee. Mitch Robinson misses the free throw. It bounces where Jalen Brunson is. If Julius Randle is there, we are grabbing that rebound. It's a very important possession of the game. It's just little things like that, Chris. I just can't escape it, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, I don't want to be all Mr. Doom and Gloom here, but, you know, after a game like that, and like you said, it's those little possessions like that can be the difference in a game that comes down to the wire.
Yeah.
And it made me think, you know, can we win with Julius Randle? You know, last season when before he got hurt in the playoffs, Julius was fantastic. Every single game, he was either giving you 15, 10, and 6, or damn near a triple-double every game. You know, he wasn't as efficient as you'd want him to be, but he was getting his numbers, and you could count on him to score.
Yeah.
You know, this season, it's been a roller coaster ride. You know, he started extremely bad. And then, like you said, you could have one half of, you know, Julius Randle moping around, not playing defense, you know, chucking up 3-pointers and not hitting anything. And then the next half, he's all NBA Julius Randle. And I think that's a big problem that we're having because, look, Julius Randle, same as Brunson, those are our leaders, right? Leaders on this Knicks squad.
Yeah.
You cannot have your leader just being erratic. You know, he's supposed to be setting an example for the other players and leading, not moping around, arguing with the refs, taking yourself out of a possible rebound opportunity, you know, in a game that's really close. To me, that's just a big no-no. And things like that, you know, they make you wonder, like, can the Knicks actually win with Julius Randle as a focal point of this team?
Makes you wonder. But yeah, it's just something that I think about often, you know, with this team. But Rick says that one free throw line play didn't cost us the game. Effort from the entire team was sus. Yeah, that one free throw thing didn't cost us the game, but I'm just saying it's just little things like that. Knicks got out-rebounded last night versus Miami Heat. They got taken out their game, and, you know, it was just the Suns beat us out of our own game. I mean, I think they had more offensive rebounds than us. Mitchell Robinson, back-to-back games where, you know, he's been taken out of his game, taken out of his flow. He got hurt there during the Suns game. Hopefully he's all right. But I wanted to touch on the comment you brought up. You said there are Bogdanovich rumors circulating. Thoughts? What are your thoughts about the Bogdanovich rumors are circulating, Chris?
I'm not sure. I mean, I did hear a little bit of noise about Bogdanovich. I mean, look, he's a good player. He can shoot the ball. I still have questions on his fit as far as defensively goes, but you know, then again, maybe we need to shake things up, right? If things aren't working with a Grimes, and I'm assuming that's the road to acquiring a Bogdanovich,
Would you do that?
maybe it worked.
Would you trade Q Dot for Bogdanovich?
I don't know, man. I'm still pretty high on Quentin Grimes. I don't want to give up on him. It's like I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna put Grimes in the category of other Knicks players that I've got stuck to, like Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox. Quentin Grimes is definitely a better player than those players mentioned, and that's no slight to them. It's just it is what it is. But I don't know. I don't want to give up on Grimes yet, in my opinion. But in my opinion, he would have to be in a deal if you're trying to acquire a Bogdanovich type.
Interesting wrinkle. Bogdanovich is obviously he's a sniper. He's bigger guy, but
Yeah.
are you willing to give off one of your young players for that? To me, that's like a sort of like a a win now move, kind of. I mean, hell, we're in win now mode. I mean, right? I mean, we're not. We made it
But I get it. I get it. That's kind of like a move you would make when you get that other star in here, right? If you bring in a star and then you get a Bogdanovich, surround them with better shooters, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's a move you make, and I don't know if we're actually there yet.
What if it's
Like,
Fournier
well,
and a pick for Bogdanovich?
I'll do that in a heartbeat. I'll do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm doing that too. But the thing is, like, you would move Quentin Grimes to the bench, and then you would have Grimes, quickly, Hart, DiVincenzo, and then
I think
Hartenstein.
ultimately, if they did something like that, then another trade would definitely have to be in the works because then that's just kind of too many redundant pieces, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah. I do. I like it though. I like it. It's something I mean, look, man, he's a bigger guy. Defense is kind of suspect, but something we need. Obviously, you can't have two. I mean, you can't have enough shooters on your team. And if you pair
Yeah.
him, that moves RJ Barrett to the two guard. That's if he would start, obviously. But I feel like if you're acquiring him, then you know you want to get him starting with the guys. And I like it. I like. I feel like we need something like that, right? I feel like we need an injection
Yeah.
in our starting
Shake.
lineup, like a change, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I mean, even right now, without acquiring somebody different, I think just a shake up in the starting lineup might be good. I mean, we saw it for a short stint with Dante DiVincenzo. Why not try it again? Like I said, have Grimes come off the bench and let's just give it a game or two and see how things go.
Tyrone, what's going on in the chat? Some of the people in the chat. Johnny Davis, what's going on? Paul New York, what's going on? Appreciate every single one of you. Smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Just here chopping it up about the New York Knicks. Obviously, the thumbnail is Jalen Brunson needs help. We've explained that many times already. I'm not saying that. We're not saying that Jalen Brunson, go out and trade. I mean, I would like that. Shoot, I would like the Knicks to do that, but some of the guys just need to play better for us to be where we want to be. Tyrone says we just got to start DiVincenzo in place of Grimes because he is going to be cutting and not standing still in the corner. That will get the offense going. Yeah, when DiVincenzo was in the lineup, obviously it was flowing. Offense was flowing. Everything was moving. But I don't know. It just seemed like the Tom Thibodeau's rolling with Quentin Grimes, and hopefully Quentin Grimes can snap out of this. But I think Quentin Grimes in the last 3 games, Chris, I think he scored like 3 points, 0 points, 3 points, not attempting many field goals, not attempting many shots. It's just he's in there for his defense, and he's doing a hell of a job of guarding the defender, but he's not closing games. That goes to Emmanuel quickly. I thought I saw another comment in here talking about Toppin that we wanted to talk to. Go get Jeremy Grant and let Jacob Toppin back him up. Jeremy Grant, that contract is massive, so I don't think I would get him. But Jacob Toppin, Chris, down there in
Yeah.
Westchester, dropping 30 plus points, and Knicks have something cooking in Jacob Toppin. Look, is he going to pan out? Who knows? Competition in Westchester is not that great, but it's good to see that our young players are down there balling the heck out. And I saw him on the
Yeah.
bench versus the Phoenix Suns. I think that's like one of the first games he's been on the bench supporting the squad. But shout out to Toppin, man, doing things down there in
Yeah.
Westchester.
It's nice, man. We still have a Toppin on the Knicks technically. So, hey, it's encouraging. We didn't think he was gonna, I know it's the G League, but they're saying he's dominating in the G League. And in my opinion, that's exactly what you want to see, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there wasn't much expected out of him. I mean, I know he was more of a defensive type of player versus, the explosive type of athlete that Obi was. But who knows, man? Maybe we found something with this project.
yeah. For real says, what do you guys think about Toppin in the D? Hashtag pause. Putting in work, looking like he could be a wing. If not, yeah. Yeah, he looking like he could be good. Who knows what's to come of it? But yeah, man. PL says I'd rather quick. Yeah. PL doesn't want DiVincenzo to start. He commented on my other video saying he doesn't want DiVincenzo to start. He'd rather Emmanuel Quickly, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man. Look, Emmanuel Quickly, I think he hasn't really been playing that many minutes, which is crazy. I think he's only touched 30 minutes twice this year or something like that. He needs to be playing more. Bottom line, starting, bench. If you feel like him coming in off the bench ruins that flow that we have coming off the bench, I understand that aspect because, look, our bench unit is night and day. Look what happened versus the Heat. They didn't match up against our bench. And look, Chris said it the best. I mean, we didn't have Emmanuel Quickly majority of the Heat series, so he came in, but like, look, it would have been a different series if I would have been playing. I mean, who knows? It's the playoffs, but yeah, he needs to play more. And yeah, man, For Real says IQ is too small to start next to Brunson.
No, I don't buy that. I really don't buy that because when we've seen it already. When IQ is out there, Jalen Brunson's out there, the ball is just moving, and you need to honor IQ's drives just like you need to honor Jalen Brunson driving into the paint, right? I just think they create a lot of chaos for the opposing teams, and that's just something I want to see more of. It's insane that Quickly's not getting more minutes because when he's out there, he's just making an impact, whether it's defensively or just being a pass defensively. He needs more minutes, man. They need to find IQ some more minutes.
Tyrone says if IQ starts, then who gives us points off the bench? I feel like starting Emmanuel Quickly will give Jalen Brunson some relief, and they're playing well together. The duo is playing, they're feeding off each other, and the offense is flowing with them, along with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. Look, you still would have DiVincenzo. Hopefully that will spark Grimes because we're just not getting Quentin Grimes anything on the offensive end from him. And we still have DiVincenzo, obviously Josh Hart. So you still have guys that will contribute. It's not like if we put IQ in the starting lineup, the bench would just be blah. It'll still be good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think the bench will still be good. And then the whole idea is Grimes, plays off the bench and maybe get some more opportunities to actually shoot the ball and get into a rhythm. Or at least that's what I would like, right? But you're still having Dante DiVincenzo, Hart, Josh Hart will be there. Granted, he's not shooting threes well, but, Tibbs always likes to stagger, whether it's RJ or even Quickly could be staggered and still actually play with the bench unit. There's just a lot of options that you can go, if you were to move Grimes to the bench, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's worthwhile. It's a worthwhile, experiment, in my opinion.
And I feel like it could get him going. I just feel like he hasn't found his footing with the starters, and that's not, his fault. I mean, maybe it is his fault, but I don't know. I feel like he can get it going. So, yeah. Chris, next 5 games versus Charlotte. Win. No LaMelo Ball.
Game,
no LaMelo Ball.
Hey man, there was no KD and there was there was no Bradley Beal.
Okay.
No, I'd say that's a win for sure. I mean, in season tournament game, I would love the Knicks to win and hopefully lock up a spot.
Yeah. Versus Detroit.
That should be a win. I mean, I
Uh,
know Detroit is a solid team now.
no,
Jalen
they're
Duren,
not.
I've
They
heard he's been
stink.
playing well. They got some nice pieces there, man.
Yeah.
They
And then
could
we're,
give us fits.
and then we're at Toronto versus Toronto at Utah. So some winnable games here. But in season tournament tomorrow, I think that's the last game. The Knicks have an opportunity to pretty much advance, and that'll be cool. I think the Orange Court is back tomorrow. What did you think of the Orange Court? I liked it. It was kind of cool. It
It
was kind of dope.
looked a lot better than I expected, so I kind of digged it. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I dig it too. But yeah, it starts tomorrow, right? It starts tomorrow versus Charlotte Hornets. Get it done and get it done versus the Pistons, and then you become 11-7. You got to start winning these games that you're supposed to,
Yeah,
which we have been all season. Not saying we haven't, but I'm just saying the loss against the Phoenix Suns stinks. I'm
yeah,
salty about that loss, man. Devin Booker, and then he went on the Instagram, Chris, after the game and started just posting, the
yeah.
shot like all over the place,
Didn't he say something? I hate double teams or something like that.
rubbing it in our
That's like
face.
a running thing with Booker, where I think he was complaining in a pickup game that he was getting double teamed or something like that, and then here we are.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, yep, pretty much. I'll tell you what, man. If Devin Booker is ever available, man, would I love to see him in the Knicks jersey.
Man, ultimate prize. Hopefully it blows up there in Phoenix so we can get Devin Booker. Leon Rose and Booker have a relationship. But yeah, we got to win these games that we're supposed to win, and we have been. So get to 11-7 these next two. Then at Toronto versus Toronto. Who knows? Win that home and home back to back. And then, we go on a West Coast trip at Utah, at Phoenix, at the Clippers, at the Lakers, at Brooklyn. So it gets tough here, man. It gets tough. And hopefully we get some of these guys to start shooting well because the efficiency numbers just aren't great. Randall's efficiency numbers aren't great. RJ Barrett's 2-point percentages isn't great at this moment. And our free throw shooting, Chris, I mean, every year, man, every year we go through the same thing. And I just feel like we need to improve that area because free throws, they're easy points. They win you these games, right? And if we're not shooting well from the free throw line, hold on, let me pull up what we're shooting from the free throw line. Hold on, you talk about the free throw shooting that for a second, and I'll
Yeah,
pull this stat up.
it's kind of insane because Jalen Brunson is a really good free throw shooter, and even he's missing a couple of free throws here and there. Is it a curse at this time with the Knicks that we just can't shoot well as a team from the free throw line? It's getting kind of crazy in my opinion. We're leaving like 5 to 6 points at the free throw line almost every game. It seems
Yeah, yeah, we are. I think
really frustrating.
we're getting to the line. 19% of the time, we're getting to the line. I can't find the free throw percent. I think we're in the 70s, but it's just got to improve that area in increments and just get it going, man. Just get
Yeah,
it going. Paul New York says Evan Fournier needs to play. He's our best 3-point shooter. That's funny. PL says, guys, keep the faith, okay? We'll be okay. We good. Top 4. I promise you. I love the enthusiasm, PL. We are good. Top 4. Look, you got the Magic playing well, so you got everyone. The East is tough, man. It's not this slouch like we thought it was going to be. You got teams in the East playing well, and we just have to compile a nice winning streak. Give us a nice 8-9 game winning streak like we got last year, right, Chris? That's
yeah.
what we want.
I mean, that could definitely happen in my opinion. We just need basically guys to play to the back of their basketball cards, right?
Yeah.
Julius Randle, we need a little bit more consistency, and I think would be good to go, in my opinion.
For real CEO, what's going on? Grimes needs to learn how to move around without the basketball. Look, that's what we got with Dante DiVincenzo when he got inserted into the starting lineup. A lot of movement without the basketball. Grimes does it. We're not saying that Grimes doesn't do it, but it's just, I don't know. I think it's a confidence issue right now with Quentin Grimes because, when he's not attempting shots, and I feel like he hears the noise a little bit, even though there's not that much noise, but he hears everybody Could be just a confidence issue, Chris, with him.
It could be. I mean, we've all said it. He plays kind of fast, in my opinion. Could he just be overthinking things and maybe just psyching himself out?
Yeah.
Could be something like that. I mean, I really hope he snaps out of the funk because we need contribution offensively from Gwen Grimes.
Mitch be hurting us. All he should be doing in free throw and shooting free throws in practice. He had 35% from the line, and he worked on his free throw shot this summer, Chris, and he's still shooting 35% from the line. So it's not good. But when your center is shooting 35% from the line, we're seeing teams this year doing hack a Mitch, and
Yeah,
it's annoying. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's annoying, and I don't blame
it
him.
sucks.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, it's really. I mean, I haven't hack a Mitch, man. I couldn't believe the Suns were doing that as well, but and it almost backfired on them. I mean, it did for a moment, but
Yeah.
it's funny because Mitch said he practiced his free throws, right, and he was adding an arc to his free throw.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the arc. That thing is a beeline every single time. But at least you know what? At least he knows it's a problem, and he's trying to get better at it. In my opinion, he should try a lot more because even if he was like what 60%, that's a heck of a lot better than where he's
Oh
at right
yeah.
now.
That's heck of a lot better, man. Just wanted to touch on these Quentin Grimes field goal attempts. So he hasn't attempted more than 10 field goals since the game in Milwaukee where he dropped 17 points, and that was almost a month ago. That was on November 3rd, the first in-season tournament game we have. So,
Wow.
yeah, hopefully he can get it going. Hopefully he can get it going. PL says, think about it. Knicks had multiple back-to-backs already and have faced top teams and fought hard. A lot of other teams haven't gone through the gutter yet, like the Knicks have. Agree. Knicks have had
Yeah.
one of the tough schedules in the NBA. It's opening up here. We have these next four or five games that are winnable. Take care of business. I think we have the least amount of back-to-backs left in the NBA, or that's the least amount with travel. So we've already done our fair share of back-to-backs. It was a brutal start to the season, but the efficiency will come. Guys are starting. You're starting to see, guys are starting to get their feet going. Obviously, the play of Jalen Brunson. If he doesn't become an All-Star this year, Chris, I mean, he's carrying us right now. He's damn sure carrying us. And 48% from three.
Insane, man. He needs to be an all-star. I mean, if he continues like this, I think he's a lock. I mean, how can you not have Jalen Brunson as an all-star? It can't happen again like last season where he should have been at the least of reserve.
Halliburton's balling out too. It's gonna be tough for him to become a
Yeah,
starter, but at
yeah.
least get on that bench, man. At least get on that bench because the way he's playing right now, he's attempting 7 threes a game. He was 5 of 10 from three yesterday, and that last three to end the game was just. I
It
wanted that to
was
go in so bad.
almost there, man.
Let me just read you his his last 10 games. He's averaging 25 points a game, shooting 51% from three, 48% from the field, 35 minutes, 5.6 assists. His assist numbers have been up, averaging pretty much 25 points a game on the season while shooting 47% from three. Incredible. Incredible,
Yeah.
man. Incredible.
What more can you ask for from Jalen Brunson, in my opinion?
You can't, man. You cannot. Hopefully the guys can, help him out a bit. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up this live stream. Let me read some of your comments before we head up out of here. Anything else you want to touch on, Chris, before we head up out of here?
Just a bit of news, I guess. I'll throw in here. Knicks have re-signed Jaylen Martin to a two-way contract. So I remember when they let go of Jaylen Martin, another project type of player. Knicks, for whatever reason, decided to let him go, and now he's back. I think
Yeah.
Dwayne Washington Jr. was let go. Best of luck to him. But again, I'm still intrigued by Jaylen Martin. He's going to be a project player, but he could turn into something for us too.
Yeah. Welcome back, Jaylen Martin. I think he's going to play in the G League with topping, so that should be fun as always. Paul New York says, let's talk about RJ's success. Yes, RJ Barrett has had a great season thus far. Defense has been there as well. So no complaints from RJ Barrett. Hopefully everyone can come together and be efficient. Please be efficient. Julius Randle, please just be efficient. You know, we want to see the great Julius Randle 80% of the time. 80% of the time, please.
Yes, we need Julius, man. I've said this before. You know, regardless of the just the antics on the court and whether he's up or down, Julius Randle is an important piece of this team. You know,
Yeah.
and it can't all be on Brunson, right? We're gonna need Julius Randle. We need him to just figure it out. And look, maybe he's still, you know, we all know he didn't have the start to the season he wanted. His training in the offseason was, you know, he basically had none due to the injury. So, you know, he's rounding into shape, and hopefully there's better days ahead as far as Julius Randle's play for the New York Knicks.
For sure. Chris, you want to do some fun questions before we head up out of here?
Yeah, why not, man?
So this is like the witching hour. Obviously, the podcast is, you know, ending soon. We're just, you know, messing around. Appreciate every single one of you in the chat. But I came up with some questions to ask Chris, and you can ask me them as well. Basic life questions, fun questions. You know, it is what it is. If you can eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's tough, man. Man, that's really a tough one. You know what? I'm big on French fries. You know, French fries. You know, what can I have with French fries? Anything really. Steak and fries. I'll go steak and fries.
Steak and fries? That's two, though.
Fries.
That's two.
I mean, they go so well together.
Yeah.
All right, I'll say steak. I'll say steak.
Steak, yeah. That would be mine. I think I would go with like, I don't know, like a pasta and chicken or something like that. Pasta and chicken.
Rick in the chat says Mexican. I can't front. I love me some Mexican food.
For real, man. For real. PL says curry goat and white rice. That's good as well. Paul New York says seeded watermelon for the rest of my life. But would you get? Do you need? I don't know. I just feel like I need some meat. Whoa, pause. Pause. Paul York says you guys have Instagram. Yeah,
that will now live on the internet forever.
At Knicks Nation is the Instagram, and my personal is at Real Anthony. That's my Instagram. One more before we head up on here. Pancakes or waffle? The eternal breakfast debate.
I gotta go pancakes, man. I'm big on pancakes.
Yeah, likewise.
What about you? Oh man, no love for waffles?
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I'll go pancakes too. I like waffles, but
Yeah,
I'll go pancakes too. You have another one in mind?
pancakes wins hands down.
Yeah. You have another one in mind? I'm trying to look for one more.
Nah, man, I'm shocked. after that pause moment.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Oh, we got some waffles. PL and Rick in the chat voting for waffles.
Yeah, waffles in the chat. Waffles in the chat. Yeah, that's wow. I can't believe I said that. That's funny. When assembling a sandwich, do you evenly distribute the condiments, or do you have a preferred side for spreading? Like,
Nah, I go crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's just all over the place.
all over the place.
There's no order for me. As long as it looks good and tastes good.
Exactly. We got some waffle loves. Waffles are the GOAT. Yeah, waffles are the GOAT. Waffles are the GOAT. We're going to head up out of here. Appreciate every single one of you in the chat. As always, I'm Anthony. That is Chris. We'll be back next time. See you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.